It's Friday. We here. Let's get straight to it. I'm right back at you like I never left, and I'm gonna go this hard to my last breath. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Canoon, Consul, Moon. You already know what you're gonna give me. Step in this room, you're now dealing with Canoon. Yeah, I'm here. And while I'm here, I'm gonna make the information direct and clear because a lot of y'all can't hear. Yeah. Now, welcome back to Make My Ancestors Great Again. This is another episode of My Thoughts, and that's the title states God and Wealth on My Thoughts 283. Okay. This particular program, this episode is about God and money, okay? And this current state of Christianity and all religion and all these type of things, you're starting to see some of the greediest people we've ever seen in any type of ministry. They call it prosperity and this, that, and the third. They have funny names for it and cliche titles and things like that. So you can become prosperous with God. Okay. So we're going to look at some of that. I'm just going to share one verse. I brought it in 3 different translations so you can see the different translations and the different breakdowns. I like layman's terms, but I brought it for you in King James, and I'm going to read you the other version so you can see exactly what it means. I got a lot of little thoughts and opinions about this verse. Okay, let's listen to the ancestors and we'll get straight to it so I can let you guys get into your weekend. And so I can let you guys go and begin to enjoy your weekend, okay? Like, share, subscribe, comment, and I thank you for watching. Let's look at the ancestors.
There's one thing you have to get through your mind and keep it. Nothing that ever came from the European mind was meant to do anything but facilitate European domination of the world. And I said there's no exception.
That's Dr. Clark. And the quote is, nothing that ever came from the European mind was meant to do anything but facilitate European domination of the world. And I said, there's no exception. And he said, that's one thing you better get in your mind and keep it. Okay. And that goes to anything. Anywhere you look, you'll see European domination. I'm in the United States of America. So this was richly built upon that principle. This is Western. This is the Western world. And pretty much the whole world is based on Western world principles. Okay. The money, the money print, the print machine and all this type of stuff, the world banks and all these things, it's dominated by European people. Okay. They dominate everything. And that's the quote. That's why it's so chilling. When you look around, you'll see European dominance across the whole world. Whether it's their power structure, whether it's their infrastructure, whether it's legislative laws, whether it's rules, anything. Okay. That's not a if, ands, or buts about it. That quote is a fact. And whoever don't understand that, they must don't have eyes or they choose to ignore what's right in front of you. Okay. Now, the verse I want to talk about today is Proverbs 13:22. Let's look at that. Okay, right here. Proverbs 13:22 says this. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children. That's his grandchildren. And the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. Now, this all is a blanket type of statement and term, right? This is a flat out lie. It's nothing godly about it. It's no heavenly principle. There's no godly principle on any of this. A good man leaveth an inheritance for his children's children, his grandchildren. That's not true. There has been many of good men. I don't know what you call good either. If you measure good by a person's wealth, that's one thing. That's why this is called God and wealth, but it's really about God and money. If you equate a good man to his finances, and I did so well in this life, I left it to my grandchildren. That's a lot of money. You leave enough for your children's children. Okay. So when you die, your children is already taken care of. Now they can have so much more. They can roll it over to their children, which is your grandchildren. That's something to say, right? But again, my point is that's a lie. There have been plenty of good men whose children did not benefit from their work on this planet. Martin Luther King is a name I can give you. He was a good man, depending on, like I say, what you equate a good man to be. Was it riches that makes you a good man? This is hardly a God principle. See, the love of money is the root of all evil. We just discussed that. But here it sounds like something totally different. Martin Luther King did not leave an abundant amount of money for his grandchildren, his children's children. That's false. Malcolm X is another good man. Again, I don't know what you equate as good. Do you equate it of his riches because he didn't have any? Okay. I can give you a whole lot of names. I can just give you those are just people that just came right up on my mind. But a lot of men, Jimi Hendrix, it depends on what you call good. He thought he was putting good in the world with his guitar and his musicry. Okay. His music ability. He changed the world. He didn't leave enough money for his children's children. So this blanket statement is false. Everything in the Bible is false. The Bible is a book that one has to believe in. Without your belief, nothing in the Bible is real. It says things that you cannot use in any type of reality. This is not a godly principle. This is not an earthly principle. This is a greedy man's perspective. This is why a lot of the greedy pastors and women and men that you see today in ministry, they're greedy because they're trying to do things like this. This makes you a good man, leaving so much wealth that you can leave it so much for your grandchildren. That does not equate to a good man, not in my book, because his heart can be rotten and things of that nature. Then it go a little further. It say a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, his grandchildren, and the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. Okay, now that's a lie. I want to deal with that. A person that sold his soul to the devil, let's just say per se, you got a person that was a rock star or something. They say, oh, you know, he sold his soul to the devil. We got everything in the world. And that takes you to a scripture when the devil took the Lord to the highest place and said, hey, I give you everything. Just kneel to me. And this Jesus the Christ said no. So that lets you extrapolate that all the wealth of the world belongs to the devil. And that's why in another Bible scripture, this Jesus the Christ says, I'm not of the world. You are. I'm from above, you from below. I'm not of the world. But you sure dealing in world principle here. This sound like you are world. You hear me? Let's continue. You'll take all that. This is an example. Like I said, you will take the rock star's wealth that you say he sold his soul and he's living in the lap of luxury because of the devil. He worships the devil in his life, and you say, oh, okay, he died. You'll take all that wealth and bestow it up on righteous people. A righteous man shouldn't want any of it. If this is his base principle, that righteous and evil should not tangle. You hear me? So if a righteous man wants the wealth of an evil man who got it all from the devil, there's something wrong with that man, and he's not as righteous as you thought. Let's look at a different translation. This is New American Standard right here. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is stored up for the righteous. So that means, like I say again, every time a wicked man dies, somebody go divvy out his property to righteous people. Again, that's 100% lie. Let's continue. This is the last one, New Living Translation. That was New American Standard Bible. This is layman's terms. This is the one I wanted to show you. Right here. Good people. Again, this is wrong because good people, a lot of times you might just be building something. You don't have a lot of money and so much inheritance to leave to your grandchildren. A lot of people don't get that type of ability, and they're not born with that wealth to pass on like that. So that doesn't matter that you're not able to give a worldly type of amount to your grandchildren, that you wasn't a good man. This is foolishness. You hear me? Good people leave an inheritance to their grandchildren, but the sinner's wealth passes to the godly. That's a damn shame. You hear me, African people, that this is a flat out lie. It's a lot of godly people who are broke. There's godly people sleeping up under somebody's freeway entrance. There's godly people who sleep in tents on Skid Row. It's a Skid Row in every state around the United States of America. I don't know how it is in other countries. You hear me? So this is 100% false, and I wanted to share that with you today. That's Proverbs 13:22. And this just show you that the Bible is a book that one has to believe in. Without your belief, nothing in the Bible is real. Okay. I wanted to share that with you because if God really believed that a good person leaves an inheritance for his grandchildren, that's the only thing that can make you good. And sinner's wealth is passed to the godly. Something has been lost in translation because I don't see any of that going on today. And again, like I say, if a righteous man is waiting on a devil worshiper to die and somebody come and divvy up all this property and say, hey, man, this man got everything from living the life that the devil want him to live because he sold his soul to the devil. But you can have all this Rolls Royces and all that. And if this righteous man accept that inheritance, he's godly. Something wrong with that righteous man. That's my thoughts on this. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Canoe, Consort Moon. You already know what you're going to get when you step in this room. You're now dealing with Canoe. This is what I do, and I love to do it. And before I take back what I said, I add some more to it. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and I thank you for watching. This is not to take God from anybody. This is to restore spirituality, which was taken from you at the time religion was given to you. If you was spiritual, you wouldn't be dibbling and dabbling in this nonsense. Okay, this is nonsensical garbage. That's what this is. Okay. Education and preparation is the first step to retaliation. So before you pick up a weapon or a silly religion, pick up some knowledge. If anybody's offended by anything you heard, I mean every word. Yeah. See y'all. Thank you for all the likes, the subscribes, the comments, the dislikes. See y'all next week. Yeah. Enjoy your weekend.